Okay, so yeah, name's Artie Sevigny. I've been married 32 years to my beautiful wife Kendra. We have 3 boys, currently living out in the wilderness side out in Oahu. And how has my life changed since I've met Jesus? Didn't really grow up too religious. My mom's family was Catholic. My dad's side of the family was part of the reorganized Church of Latter-day Saints, and they kind of left the religion part up to me growing up. There wasn't any pressure to pick either way. So growing up, I had a lot of ideas and conceptions on what it meant, what I thought it meant to know God or follow God. But when I started studying the Bible, all of that kind of went out the window. My wife was originally met back in 1992, October of 92. She was met through cold contact sharing at Ala Moana. She got baptized January 1993, and I got baptized a month later. Studied the Bible for a month, and then got baptized in February of 93. And I remember studying the Bible, and everything that I kind of thought I knew about God, or the preconceived ideas of what I thought it meant to be a follower of God, were so different from what the Bible was saying. And the biggest challenge for me was to overcome my drug addiction. So anyone who has been in drug addiction will tell you you're always a recovering addict. And I consider myself the same thing. I'm still a recovering addict. But I think the thing that made it, I guess, difficult for me at first was I didn't have the people in my life to really hold me accountable. My life had gotten to such a low point, but no one in my life could actually tell me the truth. It reminds me of in Luke 15, the parable of the lost son. And it says when he came to his senses, he realized that he needed to go back to his father. And for me, everyone has a different low point in their life. And for me, the low point was almost losing my wife and losing my oldest son at the time, and the possibility of just losing those relationships. And it wasn't until I studied the Bible and the men who studied with me really held me accountable to what the scriptures were saying. And that was a challenge. In Matthew chapter 12, it talks about how when an impure spirit comes out of a person, it goes to arid places, and when it comes back, if it finds the house unoccupied, it'll bring 7 other demons, more wicked than itself. And for me, that was the challenge. I had so many years of addiction, so many years of just lying in deceit. And I'm just thankful at that time I was able to have my house cleaned up, but I filled it with spiritual things, spiritual relationships, men that would hold me accountable, men that I could rely on to help me through the tough times. And that same spirit, he's out there. He wants back in. But the difference is that when you meet Jesus for who he truly is through the scriptures, not some preconceived idea, not something that you thought or you heard someone say, it's different. It changes you. And when I started studying the Bible, I think the biggest thing for me and what really helped me through the struggles was that I decided that if I was going to have a faith, it was going to be a faith that came through the scriptures. It was going to be a faith that was based on the scriptures, not what someone told me, not what I grew up with. Because what I realized was that if both my parents had been Catholic, I probably would have been Catholic. It wouldn't have meant that it was the truth spiritually. All it would have meant was that I was what my parents were. So I just needed to have a faith that came from the scriptures. For me, it's more than just about meeting Jesus. It's about like knowing him. And that can only really be found through studying the scriptures and living a life based upon the scriptures.